Welcome to Inside the Practice, your go-to podcast for stories, tips, and insights from professionals helping dental practices thrive. Hosted by Alan Hollander and Sarah Boylan, and sponsored by ePractice Manager. Enjoy the episode.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Inside the Practice. We like to say that we are the podcast where we talk about the business side of dentistry and what it really takes to run a successful dental practice. I'm your host, Alan Hollander. I'm also the CEO of ePractice Manager. And today we're diving into a topic that every dental office deals with every day. We know it because we're constantly dealing with it around the country with our clients. We're very happy to have Tessina Bullock today. Tessina is the president of Verus Dental. She's been in dentistry since 2008, and she's developed a reputation for advocating for dental practices when it comes to dealing with insurance companies. Wow, do we get that constantly or what? My goodness. She was even featured in Dental Economics after she helped push an insurance company, an insurance commissioner to investigate an insurer's practices. So good for you, Tessina. He's also part of the Veritas Dental Resources family of companies. We have had the president of that company on with us, Ben Tuane, wonderful guy, and Verus. And I'll let Tessina explain that relationship. But, you know, they've helped thousands of dentists navigate insurance and improve their practice revenue as a result of that. Today, we're going to talk about the realities of dental insurance, where practices often lose money without even realizing it, and what dental offices can do, most importantly, what they can do to take better control of their reimbursements and some wonderful things they can do about it. So, Tessina, welcome to Inside the Practice. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here. I'm really excited. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So before we get into the nuts and bolts, give us a little background. How did you get into this area that can be exciting, frustrating, annoying, and probably extremely rewarding as well?
Yeah. Well, honestly, like I never expected to be doing what I'm doing now. So I started out like I was a single mom, a million years ago. And I really just wanted a job where because I was working as a waitress and I was doing all the nights, all the weekends, all the holidays, right? And I just wanted to work somewhere where I can have some more time with my daughter. And so I was like researching, like, well, where can I work that like doesn't work nights, weekends, and holidays? And I'm in Utah. And so dentistry actually fit that box. And I just wanted to be a little dental assistant. My father actually like has run several companies in his lifetime and very busy, very successful, very stressed man. And I was like, I don't want to do all that. And so I just wanted to be, and I can't say low level, but stress wise, like I wanted to do the fun part, just go in and work on patients and go home at the end of the day and not stress. Of course, that didn't happen because I have this huge passion of being an advocate for people. So as I started getting into dentistry, and I naturally had some business insights from growing up around that, and they kept saying, when I'd help out up front and answer the phones, they're like, we want you up front. We don't want you in the back. And I was like, okay, whatever you want. And lo and behold, right, I get into this insurance game and the insurance companies are like, you can't do that. You can't bill that. All this and that. And I'm like, says who? Right. And they're like, says us. And I'm like, well, but says who still? If there's laws and rights that protect the insurance companies, then there are laws and rights that protect us as well. And I
Yes.
thought I was behind. I went into all these study clubs. I went into all the seminars, all the courses, trying to find out what information I was missing because the insurance company was just bossing me around and I don't like it.
Mm.
And so I found out in my journey what our actual laws and rights are. And I started pushing back. And what I found was that we can police the insurance companies and make sure that they're not bullying us with only ever telling us what their laws and rights are, right? And not ever sharing with us what we're able to do. So that's what happened. I just got into it, kind of fell into it, and I love it. And I became passionate about it. And in the study clubs I was going to learn, I started telling them what I was doing, and everybody wanted to know more. And next thing you know, here I am telling the whole world what I've learned.
That's a great story.
Mhm.
That's a great story because there are so many practices that we see who and people in well, first of all, what we see most of is that the individuals inside the practices simply don't have the tools. Even their insurance coordinators don't really understand how to do this. And they go through major efforts when we say to them, well, you need to negotiate your reimbursements. And it kind of you get a blank look. You get a blank look on that. So I love the idea. I kind of, when you say you're an advocate, what you just said really really does explain that, and that's it's very good to have you out there doing this. So you were involved in getting the insurance commissioner to investigate an insurer. Can you tell us what was that all about? What happened?
Yeah, there was an insurance company, and I don't know if I can say the name or not, but I
Yeah,
think
you bet.
it might have been
Yeah,
listed
maybe
in the
not,
article.
but maybe better not to.
Right. So there was an insurance company. They were denying all of our crowns, every single crown, right from the beginning, like before I'd even had a chance to fight it. We submit it, it gets denied. And then I was fighting that battle, and I went to the very top of as far as I could go within that insurance company and the provider relations department, right? They said to me flat out, like, we are a nationwide company. You'll never stop us. Like, this is what we do. And she
Wow.
was very bold about it. She wasn't even trying to hide because I was like, this is illegal. Like, I had even had conversations with the dental reviewers at the time who were like, yeah, I can see that crown needs to be done. And we just could not get them covered even though everybody said, yeah, it needs to be done. And so I called her up, I called her out, and she was like, there's nothing you can do. You can't touch us. We have millions of billions of dollars, and that's that, right? And so what happened was I was trying to find out where are the laws, what are my rights, what can I do to stop this lady. I felt like it was this one person. It really wasn't her. It's not her company, right? But she was very, very motivated to tell me that to get me to back off. And so I learned about the insurance commissioner and that they are in charge of policing the insurance agencies. And
Hmm.
I went to this course, and they said, here's how you file a complaint with the insurance commissioner. And it was mailing a letter and all this stuff. So I did that. I mailed a letter and I wrote all this out, and they called me and said, what are you doing? They said, this is not how you submit a complaint to the insurance. I paid like $7,000 for this course or something to like learn how to file a complaint to the insurance commissioner, and it wasn't even accurate. But it's okay. It got me there. It did get me there. The commissioner's office, they were super nice. They called and we laughed, we chuckled. That that's not how you submit a complaint. And then they walked me through the process, the correct process of how to submit a complaint with the insurance commissioners. It's actually so much easier. You go to their website and you just fill out the form online, and it's a beautiful thing. So we did that. The insurance commissioner's office was able to help me get some of those claims paid, but they kept getting denied. And so I pointed out to the commissioner's office that this is like a repeat offender, right? Like on repeat, they are denying all crowns. I'm like, how is this legal? That they can just sit here and go through and deny every single crown that we submit. And then I have to spend hours fighting for the payment. I have to involve you guys to go get my payment. And they were like, yeah, that should not be happening. So they ran an investigation and they found that that insurance company was doing something illegal or incorrect. They were applied a fine and told to stop. And the whole state benefited from that. And actually, I think more outside of the state as well. But the insurance commissioner is state by state. So I can at least say for the state of Utah, we were able to secure that win. And I had been calling attorneys. I had called everybody, and everybody was like, there's nothing you can do. But together with the help of the insurance commissioner, we got it put to a stop.
Love that story.
It was
Love
really
the story. Love the story that's just what an example of persistence, which is really what it takes in any endeavor to be successful, because we're always running into barriers, little and small, and then you run into this. When you were talking about the word that kept sort of coming up in my head was, wow, arrogant, such arrogance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this led to an article in Dental, excuse me, Economics about the whole story.
Yeah, it was really fun. I had involved so many people trying to get help with the matter that it became well known in like the top industry people. Ben Timoney was involved. There was some other. I was literally reaching out to everybody saying like, I know this is wrong and I know we should be stopping it, but nobody knew how or what to do. And attorneys, nobody. But we pulled it off. And so then I reported back to everybody, hey, I pulled it off. This is what we did. And then they said, this needs to be in an article.
It's very good.
We need to tell everybody.
That's so good. I have kind of a follow-up on this, which you may or may not be able to answer. I know Sarah has a bunch of questions to ask, but I just want to, would it help? Would it help our listeners to understand, in terms of that example, what were they simply denying paying for a crown or crowns? And what was their reason for denial? Or were they just stonewalling and saying denied? I mean, are there, is there any data there in that example that might be helpful?
Yeah, and I know we've got a lot of questions to get to, so I'll keep it really simple.
Okay.
A covered code should be paid for, right? So if the service was valid, if you did a good service and it was required treatment for that patient and it was a covered code, there's really no reason it should be denied. So if that's getting denied and you know that your doctor did good work and that was required, you should be fighting that payment.
Okay. That's simple enough.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
So, yeah, I'm so excited to jump into this conversation with you, Tessina, because as a seasoned practice manager myself, you are our hero for going to bat and bringing awareness. And, I've had to pick up the phone and talk to the insurance commissioner a couple times myself on specific cases. But it blows my mind that we can submit the claim, the x-rays, the intraoral images, chart notes, all supporting documentation, and they still come back and deny us. It's like, how? Like, standard operating procedure is just to stamp it rejected and then circle it back when, and how many days? 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? Do we fight those claims? Anyway, so that being said, congratulations and wonderful job on behalf of all office managers throughout the state of the United States. Thank you. Reaching out to, or shifting into some of the practical advice for practices that are listening right now, what are some of the red flags that offices should watch out for when verifying benefits?
Yeah, when you're verifying benefits, you want to make sure that you are asking about the exclusions and the limitations. just saying it's a covered service is not enough anymore. And I do a lot of podcasts. So people, if they're listening to me, they probably have heard me say this a million times, but I tell my patients sometimes, like, yeah, it's covered unless it rained that day. Like, that's how arbitrary, like, the exclusion can be. It has nothing to do with standard of care or ADA codes. It literally is just about premium management. The insurance contract with the employer is designed to reduce the patient's premiums. And so therefore they're coming from a cost standpoint. So they want to make it look like the patient has a lot of benefits so that the patient is happy. And then they have all these hidden exclusions and limitations. And if the office does not catch that, the patient and the insurance company, right, are all targeting the office like, yeah, that office should have known. And where's the training coming in for that? Insurance companies are not forthcoming with that information. You have to pry for it. So some websites will have it, a handbook or something on the website. So always be looking for that. But if you're on the phone, just ask them. And then I ask a follow-up question. Is that a global rule across all plans for your company? Or is that employer specific or plan specific? Right? If you can lay out these global rules, you don't have to ask every time. Map that out, keep a document, and then just know, like, yep, this company is not going to cover this procedure. This company with the bone grafts always denies if it's done the same day as the extraction, right? That's our big one that we get a lot. And so knowing that ahead of time is huge, and mapping it out to reduce your call time is huge.
Excellent.
Where would you think where are practices leaving the most money on the table when it comes to insurance?
Leaving money on the table. This is such a good question because offices think, how many codes can I bill? When they're looking at how to increase production, they come to me saying, what other codes can I tack on to increase our overhead? That's really not the area or the goal. I want to make that clear. Trying to, I call it like nickel and diming, like trying to just find all these little codes that we can add on. You definitely should be billing every code that for every procedure that you did, 100%. Don't leave anything off. Bill every code that you did. However, that's not where you're leaving money. Where you're leaving money is not properly treatment planning, maybe properly estimating the patient's portion ahead of time. What happens is when the patient is frustrated with money, the office writes it off because they are concerned about the patient being frustrated or not coming back. So we're leaving money on the table by not properly preparing the patient ahead of time so that they can pay what is their amount owed. We're leaving money on the table by not making sure that we are taking into consideration any upgrade options. We're leaving money on the table when we have contracts that have too low of a reimbursement rate to force us to this question of how many codes can I tack on? Your reimbursement rates are not good if that's the question you're asking me. Reevaluate those contracts. From a business standpoint, your relationship with the insurance company says that those write-offs you're writing off, that is the payment for them to do the marketing for you. Not whether or not you get patients, not whether or not not whether or not you can use that insurance company. It is literally to have them do the marketing for you. It's a marketing fee. And ask any business owner what percent of marketing we should be paying, right? Alan's going, wow. Like, if it's not a good marketing fee, you're like, I don't want you to market for me. Thank you, but no thank you. I'll do my own marketing, right? So let's look at it from that aspect. We're leaving money on the table by accepting contracts and reimbursement rates that are too low for us to recover our overhead. That's a problem. Then you need to cut those ties, right? Sorry, that was too much.
That was a great answer.
No, that's wonderful. There's some real pearls there.
Yeah, one of the things that stuck out to me is you said map that out, and I had a binder with every insurance specific, like, this is what's covered under this policy typically. I love how you brought up the globalization. That's a great point. what other documentation should an office keep to protect themselves when dealing with insurance companies?
Yeah, make sure you have really good documentation. Your chart notes are gold. Sarah knows we've seen some one-line chart notes, and then we're like, what are you doing? How am I supposed
this up for you, sir?
Yeah. So we need good chart notes. Make sure that you are meeting the legal requirements, which will state that the patient needed to be presented with their options, that the patient chose this option, and what things were done during that procedure, right? That is huge. That is gold, again, in making sure that you can fight for those claims when they are denied. So that documentation is your proof. That is a legal document stating that that work was required, what the reason it was required for, and that you performed a good job. Insurance companies, the law to protect us in that is that they are required to pay the claim in good faith. They are required to take our word for it. The x-rays are 2D images. They don't always depict or tell the full story, right? So what does your chart notes, your narrative, your demonstration of what actually happened chairside, that cannot be replaced. A dental reviewer or consultant that they have on their side is not actually allowed legally to diagnose treatment. By law, you have to be chairside, you have to be clinically present to diagnose, because there are so many factors that go into play. So having that documentation and knowing how and when to point it out to the insurance company is a game changer.
Wow, that's excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
You know, there's wonderful new software. Maybe you're familiar with it. Some great AI software that it does much more than record consultations and exams. It listens to the information, and it codes. It puts down codes. You need to give it cues and so forth, but it documents beautifully. I don't
Yeah,
know if
I
you've
have
seen
heard
any
of
of that.
that.
Yeah,
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 and I think that's amazing. Sometimes the error is that the dental assistants are new or undertrained, and I
exactly.
think that's a borderline issue across the whole office is not properly training or not properly hiring for experience. And it's fine. We can hire anybody with no experience, but they need to be trained. And who are they being trained by?
Yeah,
Does the person doing the training know what needs to take place there? So that's doctor's responsibility to make sure that the team is properly trained and that he or she knows what items they should be training on. So if the dental assistant is in the room and she hears the whole conversation, he or she, then they only write down their one line. We're missing. So if you wanted to implement AI, it's a good time to do it. Everybody's doing it. I think it'll help a ton. But if you don't have AI, then make sure that we are just documenting everything.
yeah. Very good. Great. Just completely. We see this all the time. You are, I believe you're partnered with Ben in this Say No to PPO movement. Uh, what is that? Tell us about that.
Yeah, and I don't know if movement's the right word, but education, right?
Okay, education. Better way to say it. Yes.
Yeah. So just helping to educate offices again that they don't have to take every single insurance under the sun and allow insurance companies to dictate treatment. When they are dictating treatment, when they are dictating how much you can collect, when they are dictating whether or not they're going to pay for these services, even though you've already performed them. This is a problem. So we have to take a step back. These doctors have to take control again of their business, of their practice, and we know how much they love these patients. So if you truly want to serve your patient, then take back that control. And that doesn't mean we have to be contracted and signed up with every single insurance company. It means we selectively choose insurance companies who allow us to provide good quality care to our patients and to be reimbursed for it appropriately.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good. very sensible approach. How does what you do? There are people who do what you do. Of course, I know Ben. I think he's wonderful at it, and you did a project for us, if I recall. Uh, if I recall, it was a number of years ago, long enough ago where neither you nor I only remember it vaguely. I do remember, however, being very impressed with what you did. I remember you gave us a very comprehensive report on something, and so I'm wondering. And now you have Versus. What is the?
Verus.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, Verus. Sorry.
That's
Excuse me. So, how does what you do differ? How do you separate yourself,
yeah.
Tessina, from the other people out there who negotiate reimbursements and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I particularly am a little bit unique in that my mindset is different, right? It's
Mm,
not insurance heavy. It's not allowing insurance to dictate. So, some consultants or some negotiating firms, some insurance verification firms, they go off of what the insurance companies have trained them and modeled them to do.
mm,
I very much push back against that, obviously.
mm,
And so my mindset comes from, well, how do we protect our patients? How do we protect dentistry itself, to be able to continue to provide good quality services to our patients? I mean, these patients, this is our family. These are our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, right? Like, these are our people. And we want to know that when they go to a dentist, they're going to get good care no matter where they go. Sadly, it's become a thing of concern, right? Of like, make sure you choose a good doctor. And I when my family is searching outside of the state, and I'm like, well, we're not really looking to go to, like, Grandpa Dental or Discount Dental or like, make sure you're looking for good quality. That's the driving factor, and sometimes that costs, right? So what I do differently would not be um, to recommend maybe keeping most contracts, right? And that structure entails evaluating non-emotionally, what insurance companies are serving you and what insurance companies are not serving you. What business relationship is good to have there, and which ones are negative and dangerous that should be removed. Aside from insurance negotiations, again, when we're fighting insurance, when we're billing patients, there's a lot of misunderstandings or misworded laws, I'll call them, that
mm,
offices are like, you can't do that. You can. The insurance company wants you to think you can't, because they will do anything they can to say that you cannot collect a dollar, right?
mm.
So knowing your laws, knowing your rights, that's where I come in. I specialize in that and saying, not just we can't do that, but there is a way. How do we do that? How do we make sure it's legal? Because we want to give proper legal advice, right?
Yeah, excellent, excellent. I definitely want you on my side.
Absolutely. So,
Sarah,
yeah,
what you had some great questions.
I yes, I am excited to get your perspective on the future of insurance and dentistry. We've already kind of dropped the AI coming in a little bit, but where do you see dental insurance going over the next several years?
Um, yeah, I think, and I actually hope, that it'll become more like the medical insurances. They're already introducing those ICD-10s, but the medical insurance, that whole field, those guys play a little differently. And actually, in medical, you can negotiate your reimbursement rates based on the type of quality that you provide. So different offices can negotiate different rates based on the skills, based on the area, based on the quality.
Mm,
Dentistry does not do that, right? And in the medical field, again, we do have some exclusions in there for when things are covered, but you can make a case for it, right? And in dentistry, we have a lot of things that are like very, again, like it rained today, so that's not it. So they usually have to have something a little bit more substantial to say, like, this was medically required, right? Medical necessity. We don't really have that as much as we'd like to have it, or as much as we think it should already be there. It's kind of naturally not. I feel like these dental insurance companies just kind of been running lawless, like running wild and just kind of making their own rules, doing whatever they want to do, answering to no one. They're just some lawless children out there. And it hasn't been brought to the attention of the insurance commissioners. It hasn't been brought attention to state legislature. And in these last coming years, we've made a big dent in that. There has been voices now going out. The insurance commissioners are becoming aware in several states. Legislator is starting to realize what a problem that this has become. So in that essence, there's going to be more laws put forth, more things. And I think they're going to be bringing in more of the things they've already put into place for medical and making sure that dental is also following those same guidelines.
Yeah, that's great.
Do you work closely with your like dental associations in the area also for advocacy?
Yeah, we do. We try. Sometimes, again, it seems like on the bottom issue, right, amongst all the issues that are going on and all the legislatures that need to be changed, dentistry and dental insurance kind of falls at the bottom of the priority list for some of our legislators, right? And so making a lot of noise is very important, and making sure that that goes out to the right people at the right time with the right amount of people saying, no, this is a problem. And sometimes it's not just the dental offices that need to speak up. We kind of need patients to speak up as well.
Okay. So
Ben,
we're good. Can you hear me still? Can you see me still?
I can.
Okay. So okay, Alan wants me to wait. We'll edit this part out.
What do we got?
Okay, so maybe he was having more tech difficulties. Well, I just, wanted to. Here's Joe. Hi, Joe.
Sorry, guys, I'm popping in here. Yeah, something's happening. I don't know. Someone's internet is weak or not a huge deal. We'll just reset and go right back into it. Okay, I'm gonna get Alan back in here.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Yep.
Hey. Do you still have the loud buzz? I can hear some buzzing.
I don't hear a buzz.
Okay. Yeah, Alan, I think you're, how's your internet signal today, sir?
Can you hear me now?
We can.
Oh, what happened was something went up. All of a sudden, Sarah, you disappeared, and I had this very loud buzz. But I'm back now. Thank you. Okay, I think we're okay, Joe.
Hey, sure. Alan, can I get you to put your headbuds back in?
You want me to put those back in?
Mm-hmm.
As long as it doesn't create that same effect.
Yeah, well, yeah, it might have been your headbuds, but let's test it.
Okay, how are we? Okay? Good?
Sound
I think it cut over. Yeah. Okay,
Yes?
I'll drop
Okay.
out and you guys take a breath and then get going again.
Thank you,
Okay.
you, Joe. Okay, sorry, Tessina. And guys, I missed about 45 seconds to a minute there where this very loud buzz was happening, and I couldn't hear anything. So,
well, I'm glad you're back. I just wanted to jump back into our conversation about some wins for the Oregon Dental Association. Just had 3 big wins down in Salem getting some laws changed that are going to be super beneficial for our patients. Very excited to see that. But, we've got strong organized industry here in this state where we're, working alongside with, some of the big, big insurance companies. We've got a pretty big one here in town. And, we work alongside with them to try and make everybody do better. So I absolutely love.
That's incredible.
It's amazing. Like
that's great.
It's pretty unique in some perspectives. But so moving forward on other questions. So do you feel, it sounds like you've already kind of got this plan in place to try and get us off the PPOs. Do you feel like that's really going to be something, if we can get more of like medical involved, where we can have more medical insurance picking up the tabs for some of these procedures? Do you think we'll get off more and more away from traditional dental insurance?
Yes and no. I think we're already starting to see where some medical insurances are allowing like preventative care and some things like that. So I do think they'll merge to a point, but I think that we'll still have some dental insurance companies. As to which companies will be the front runners, I'm not so sure. I think that that's changing. We are seeing massive amounts of offices going out of network, specifically with the PPOs that have restricted the quality of care.
Yeah.
And again, I was talking with an office actually just this morning that was trying to understand how to cover their overhead when not only the reimbursement rates, but there were things in the contract that said, even though the ADA allows you to build these two codes together, on any of our plans, you're not allowed to build these together, and you're not allowed to bill the patient. You just have to eat the cost. That's in the contract, right? So you have signed a contract saying, I won't charge for this, and I'll only charge this amount for that procedure. And so you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? And they're like, what do? What other codes can I bill? No, you need to drop the contract. Don't sign a contract like that. And so we're seeing this education is going out and the understanding is going out, and that basing decisions off of fear is not ever a good business decision, right? Wow. And so having that fear template of like, I'm afraid if I go out of network, what will happen? That is not a good business mindset, right? It has to be a non-emotional assessment. And in doing so, as these offices are going out of network all across the country with a lot of insurance plans, dental insurance is going to change. It's going to have to if it wants to stay in the game.
Yeah, very good. That's great. This is wonderful information. Do you do training as well? Do you train insurance coordinators and practices also?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Excellent. Well, we're gonna start winding down here. I want to ask you a few little rapid fire questions, if I might.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. What's the biggest myth in your mind about dental insurance?
The biggest myth?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good question. Okay. So this could be
biggest misconception
that you cannot give patients a discount if you're an in-network provider, that you are required to notify the insurance. To a point, this is true depending on how you do it. However, think about a patient that goes into bankruptcy. So you've already billed insurance. They had their estimated portion they were supposed to pay. Maybe they said, I'll do payments, and now they have to go into bankruptcy. Are you required to go back and tell the insurance that you're not able to collect on that, and that now they can pay nothing? They can take back their payment? That would be ludicrousy, right? Nobody's doing that. That's not a thing. So what the insurance companies have been telling offices for years and years, and consulting firms have been backing this up, saying you cannot give a discount to a patient unless you notify that discount to the insurance company and they pay on the lesser amount. That's not true. It is only true if you are doing so ahead of time. Now, if you have pre-decided that you are going to give a discount to a patient, then you are supposed to notify the insurance company and they pay off of the discounted amount. However, if you are providing a discount to a patient and it's not decided until after the insurance payments are received, you are not required to notify them of that.
Good one. Thank you. What's one thing that you would advise every dentist in relation to insurance to kind of stop doing right away?
Stop being in fear.
Good.
That sounds like a great one.
Yeah, make non-emotional assessments of your relationship with the insurance companies.
Very good. Yes, great response. What's the worst insurance tactic that you've seen? I think you may have said it earlier, but what's the worst kind of insurance tactic or strategy that you've seen?
It would be allowing insurance to dictate how you perform in your office, not just treatment, but how you perform in general. When we are setting the stage for patients as to what we do, I mean, sometimes sending these pre-auths for fillings. They're like, I don't know what insurance pays. I don't know how it works. I don't know what to do. So I send everything as a pre-auth, and then I only do treatment, and we only do this, and just letting insurance run the whole show. That's a huge no-no. And you've warped the mind of your patients.
Exactly. Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
I was gonna say, I mean, the patient needs the treatment. That's what we need to be focusing on.
That's right.
And Alan has taught so many courses on really educating, the doctors on how to educate the patients, right? So it becomes just the natural. This is what I want to purchase.
Yeah, it's our job as treatment coordinators, even if the patients go to that mindset of, well, what does insurance cover? It's our job as the treatment coordinators to shift that focus back to the quality of care and the required treatment.
Exactly. So 100%. All right, last question. What do you think is one tool that every dentist office should be using regarding insurance?
The insurance commissioner.
Good. Excellent.
The more complaints you file with the insurance commissioner, the insurance companies will flag you and will back off of you because they don't want you reporting their illegal behavior to the insurance commissioner.
Wow. I can imagine when they hear your voice. Go,
my name is not accepted well. I can't even hide my name. It's too obvious of a name.
It's definitely, oh no, not her. Anyway, hey Tessina, this was terrific. Thank you so much for being with us today, for your insights. It was really very, very helpful for anybody in dentistry or and naturally, as a result, having to deal with insurance. Just about everybody. Extremely helpful. If people want to connect with you further, when this is released, when we broadcast, we'll have your contact information. But tell us and tell our listeners how they can reach you if they want more information, want to know more about your services and what you do. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, email is really probably the best avenue. I am buried in emails every day, but that is where, I put a lot of my focus in just trying to keep my inbox cleaned up. So email is probably the best way. If they go to the website, they can also usually find my calendar link and request an appointment with me as well.
Excellent. And the website is?
VerusDental.com.
VerusDental.com.
Dental.com.
VerusDental.com.
Yes.
Perfect. Wonderful. Hey, thanks again, Tessina, Sarah. Thank you.
Yeah, great to see you.
Co-hosts. Thanks everybody who helped us put this on. We look forward to seeing you again. And if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone on your team or a colleague. or friend or family. Thank you, folks. See you next time.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Inside the Practice, sponsored by ePractice Manager. We hope you enjoy